the situation between Elizabeth and Andrei has officially exploded into chaos. What started as another family disagreement has spiraled into legal drama, courtroom appearances, and a judge's shocking decision that no one saw coming. The couple who once symbolized the fiery chemistry of 90 Day Fiance are now standing on opposite sides of a courtroom, facing charges that could change their lives forever. Reports began surfacing late last week that Andrei was taken into custody following an altercation connected to an ongoing property dispute involving Elizabeth's family. Sources close to the couple say tensions between Andrei and Elizabeth's relatives had reached an all-time high in recent months. The situation reportedly came to a head during a heated confrontation that allegedly turned physical. According to witnesses, Andrei arrived at a family-owned property in Tampa, demanding access to certain financial documents he claimed were being withheld from him. What was supposed to be a calm conversation escalated when voices were raised, accusations flew, and someone ended up calling the police. By the time officers arrived, the argument had gotten completely out of control. Police reports indicate that Andrei was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and obstruction after allegedly refusing to comply with officers' instructions. Cameras captured the moment as Andrei, visibly angry, was escorted out in handcuffs. Footage quickly spread across social media, setting 90 Day Fiance fan groups ablaze with speculation. While Andrei was booked and later released on bail, the legal fallout didn't end there. The next twist came when Elizabeth's name appeared in connection with a separate but related case involving alleged falsified documents tied to the same property dispute. According to court filings, investigators are reviewing claims that certain signatures and financial statements submitted under Elizabeth's name might have been altered or incomplete. At first, fans thought it was a misunderstanding. Elizabeth has always been known as the peacekeeper, the one trying to hold her fiery husband and outspoken family together. But as the investigation deepened, rumors began to circulate that the charges against her might be elevated to felony status, depending on what evidence prosecutors uncover. For longtime viewers, this situation feels like the culmination of years of unresolved tension. Ever since Andrei arrived in the US, he's been in constant conflict with Elizabeth's family, especially her brother Charlie. The infamous family brawls, awkward dinners, and endless financial disputes were reality TV gold, but behind the scenes, the pressure was taking a toll. Friends of the couple say that what viewers saw on television barely scratched the surface. Andrei reportedly felt cornered by the family's constant interference, while Elizabeth struggled to maintain her loyalty to both her husband and her relatives. The property business that once seemed like an opportunity for unity eventually became the breaking point. Insiders close to the show claim that producers had been aware of the growing tension for months. There were even discussions about filming a special follow-up episode addressing the family feud, but those plans were allegedly scrapped once the legal troubles began. TLC has not issued any official statement about whether Elizabeth and Andrei will continue appearing in upcoming spin-offs. After his release, Andrei was reportedly ordered by the judge to stay away from certain members of Elizabeth's family, pending the outcome of the case. He's also required to surrender his passport and attend mandatory anger management sessions. The judge's tone, according to courtroom observers, was stern and uncompromising, emphasizing that any further outbursts could land Andrei back behind bars. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's legal team is working overtime to clear her name. Sources say she's cooperating fully with investigators and insists that any irregularities in the paperwork were unintentional. But as one attorney put it, intent doesn't always matter when signatures are involved. The possibility of a felony charge looms, and the stress is reportedly pushing the couple's marriage to the breaking point. Fans are divided. Some believe Andrei is being unfairly targeted because of his strong personality and the family's long-standing dislike of him. Others think the situation proves what they've been saying for years, that Andrei's temper would eventually get him into serious trouble. As one fan commented online, "This isn't the first time Andrei's lost his cool, but this time it might cost him everything." Social media is now flooded with clips, fan theories, and even leaked courtroom sketches claiming to show Andrei's tense demeanor during the hearing. Some insiders allege that Elizabeth broke down in tears as the judge read out the restraining order conditions, realizing how far things had gone. Despite the legal mess, Elizabeth has reportedly been focusing on her daughter, trying to shield her from the media storm. Friends say she's heartbroken, not just about the charges, but about the possibility that this could spell the end of her marriage. As for Andrei, he's keeping a low profile. His last social media post before the arrest showed him working out at a local gym, captioned with a defiant message, "No one can break me." Since then, his accounts have gone silent. Some fans speculate that TLC may distance itself from the couple entirely. The network has dealt with legal controversies involving cast members before, and executives tend to move quickly to protect the brand. If that happens, Elizabeth and Andrei's television future might be over for good, a shocking downfall for one of the franchise's most talked-about couples. Behind the cameras, family members have remained quiet, though sources claim Elizabeth's father is devastated by how things turned out. The once tight-knit family business is reportedly in chaos, with lawyers stepping in to review every deal connected to Andrei's involvement. Whether the charges stick or not, it's clear this chapter marks a turning point. For years, Elizabeth and Andrei thrived on drama, passion, and the unpredictable energy that made them reality TV icons. Now, that same fire threatens to destroy everything they built together. The judge's order may have drawn a temporary line in the sand, but the emotional fallout will take far longer to settle. What began as another family argument has evolved into a full-blown legal war, and no matter how it ends, one thing's certain: the Elizabeth and Andrei saga will never be the same again. During Season 9 of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, tensions heightened between longtime besties Loren Brovarnik and Elizabeth Castrovet when Elizabeth announced that she was planning on moving to Moldova with her husband Andrei. For the first time in Happily Ever After history, three couples, Loren and Alexei Brovarnik, Elizabeth and Andrei Castrovet, and Yara Zaya and Jovi Different, shared a connected storyline throughout the season. A main reason for this connection was Loren and Elizabeth's friendship. "Loren and I have confided in each other for 4 to 5 years now," Elizabeth said. "We have strict girl code, and both have that understanding with each other." However, after Elizabeth announced their potential move to Moldova, it became clear that Loren and Alexei could no longer hold back on their distaste for Andrei. Let's just say, once the floodgates were open, there was no turning back. Scroll to find out everything we know about why Loren and Elizabeth are fighting, leading up to the tell-all, including a recap of everything that went down between Loren and Alexei, Elizabeth and Andrei, and Yara and Jovi this season. To put it plain and simple, on a double date with Yara and Jovi, Alexei and Loren called Andrei AD*CK. From there, rumors spiraled, friendships were broken, and the three couples' trip to the mountains turned out to be far colder than expected. However, when it comes to the origin of their argument, all signs point back to Yara spilling that Alexei and Loren had some choice words to say about Elizabeth's husband. The real drama began at Yara's new business launch party when Elizabeth revealed, "Alex and Loren went behind my back and said all these mean things about my husband." Confronting her then bestie, Elizabeth told Loren, "I did hear through the grapevine that you think that my husband is a horrible person." Naturally, Loren told Elizabeth that she didn't recall saying that, but by then, the damage had already been done. Loren later specified, "I think that maybe the way Andrei talks to you is horrible. He's very aggressive, and in that sense, it's horrible. It sucks. The situation, not him." Adding insult to injury, Loren admitted, "I'm sorry if I said your husband was a D*CK. I think he can be a D*CK, and I'm telling you that." After telling viewers that she has been protecting Loren for years, Elizabeth spilled the beans on everything Loren had told her about her relationship with Alexei. She told him, "You talk about her F***king weight and how you body shame her." Alexei then brought over his wife to clear the air. Once all four of them were together, Andrei announced, "I read the text messages. I looked into that conversation, and I looked at her F***king text messages, and I know what you're talking about." To Elizabeth's credit, she seemed taken aback that Andrei had read their conversation as well. While Yara was understandably mad that her two friends had an explosive argument at the important event she was hosting, Yara attempted to mend their relationship by inviting both couples on a ski trip to Lake Placid. However, bringing all three couples together only seemed to make matters worse. In the mountains, Elizabeth and Loren tried to mend their relationship. However, Loren thought that they were back on good terms, but Elizabeth continued to stir the pot. She told Yara, I wasn't going to say anything, but Loren was just saying you were just Miami got to your head and just nasty comments about you and things you wear. When Yara confronted Loren about making fun of her, Loren denied Elizabeth's claims and said, "You literally ***king inspire me." After Loren and Yara reconciled, Loren and Alexei left the resort early. Heading into the four-part tell-all, it's clear that Loren and Elizabeth are not on good terms. During the preview alone, both Elizabeth and Loren could be seen arguing with each other, culminating in Loren yelling "shut up" at Elizabeth from across the stage. To make matters worse, all of the couples from the season will be living together during the tell-all, so it's clear that the couples didn't leave the drama in Lake Placid. Andrei Castrovet just admitted to a massive secret on 90 Day Fiance, happily ever after, that caused his wife Elizabeth "Libby" Pothos to leave Moldova with their children. For most of the season, Libby and Andrei haven't been on the same page about their desires. Andrei is ready to move back to his home country and is hoping that a family trip to Moldova is exactly what his wife needs to be on board with his plan. Meanwhile, Libby is much more hesitant about the move and elicits opinions from her father and other 90 Day Fiancé alums like Loren Brovarnik and Yara Zaya to help her determine if she's making the right choice for her family. Unfortunately, the trip has been full of surprises, including a massive reveal that has Libby on the next flight to America, with their kids and without her husband. Shortly into their trip, the 90 Day Fiancé star reveals he made a bad investment and lost nearly $75,000 because of the Russian/Ukrainian war. After a huge family party, Andrei gave his family the impression they were moving back to Moldova, but Libby was already upset that her husband wasn't being totally forthcoming. The situation got worse when he took her to a rental property to show her the progress. The progress was nowhere near expected, as for about 2 years his property sat untouched and Libby was irate. The dirty home was filled with materials and garbage and didn't look like it had been touched in months. "Why didn't you tell me?" she pleaded with him. "Keep me in the know." But Andrei simply didn't want to give her bad news that would stop her from considering Moldova as a place to raise their family. Her father, Chuck Pothos, tries to intervene, but Libby is clear. Andrei lied to her, and she couldn't trust him anymore. As a result, she changed her flight to leave with her dad and left her husband behind. To make the situation worse, this isn't the first time Andrei's made a bad investment or was a little foolish with the family's money. When the 90 Day Fiancé star first arrived in America, he wanted to be a truck driver. He went to school and even bought a truck with the help of his father-in-law, Chuck. That business adventure didn't go far as he stayed home, playing games while his wife worked. A year or two later, Andrei changed professions, despite having no experience. He decided he was going to work in real estate like the rest of the Pothosts. Only Andrei expected Chuck to pay $100,000 so he could get started, but this also meant he'd be in direct competition with his in-laws. Now, in present time, Andrei has another investment of nearly $100,000 that's gone to waste. However, what makes this situation the worst is that Andrei blindsided his wife. Libby was aware of the other investments, and while Andrei's concerns about his wife not wanting to move are understandable, this is clearly a manipulative move from the Moldovan native. Unfortunately, it seems highly unlikely that Andrei will be able to convince his wife to move abroad, especially since, once again, his family is suffering from another one of his bad investments. With his wife returning to America, Andrei is left explaining to his family what happened. This also means he has to own up to the half-truths he told his family as well. However, knowing Andrei, he'll likely spin this issue in his favor as he did with his other investments. Or maybe he'll ask his father-in-law for more help. Either way, though, it seems like the Moldovan star has bigger problems to solve throughout the rest of the season. I think that 90 Day Fiancé star Andrei Castrovet has always been a difficult man, and while he seems to love his wife Libby Pothos, the fact that Andrei now has American citizenship could mean that he plans to stop playing the family man. Through the years, Andrei's let Libby down over and over again. The man who controls his wife Libby like nobody's business even described her family as a cult in an exclusive chat with US Magazine. While they've stuck it out, the fact that his immigration status changed could signal a change in Libby and Andrei's dynamic. They met in Ireland while they were using a language app. Andrei, an in-your-face type who famously clashes with Libby's family when he's not asking them for money or employment, probably seemed charming at first. He was fit, attractive, and devoted to his new love interest. However, the man from Moldova has a dark side, and if he's secretly been playing his American wife, this stage of their lives together could be pivotal. Their relationship has been a wild ride so far. It's interesting that Andrei used the cult analogy, as he seems to have a cult-like hold on his wife. He's not a Charles Manson or David Koresh, but in his own way, he's done great damage to her life. He's dragged Libby down a path that has led her away from her own family. Andrei probably doesn't consider himself a brainwasher. As I said previously, he appears to sincerely love Libby, but on the other hand, would someone who really cared raise the landscape like this? Would they make things so difficult for their wife that she has to avoid most members of her family? I don't think so. It seems to me that Andrei is trying to get Libby all to himself. He's taken what he can from her family, and now he doesn't want to deal with them anymore, and he doesn't want her to either. To me, this is a major red flag. The Pothists aren't angels. Chuck's business tactics have been questioned. No one's trying to say that they haven't fought dirty too, but before Andrei came along, the controversial clan wasn't in tatters. Now it is, and that's probably made many members of the family feel very sad. It's like Andrei's forcing Libby to choose between him and her family, even if she thinks it's her own decision. I'm not saying she doesn't have agency over her own life, but Andrei can be so heavy-handed, pushing hard for whatever he wants. It might be hard for her to keep her sense of self when he's so determined to get his way. He might make her believe she's pulling away from them because they've wronged her, when the truth is that they love her more than anyone else does. 90 Day Fiance's Chuck Pothist isn't a perfect person, but it's clear he adores Libby. He practically melts when he looks at her, and always caves into her demands, whether she wants a ritzy Moldovan wedding or anything else. He can't stand it when she's sad. Andrei has been cruel to Libby, whom he claims to love. He's sworn at her in Moldovan, rudely ordered her to listen double, and basically ruined her relationship with her family. She sticks around, almost as though brainwashed by his verbal aggression and vaulting ambition. Obviously, she loves this man, but is he good for her and will he stay? Maybe this will all end in tears. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. Andrei and Libby have put down roots. They're a family. However, women in international relationships can be way too trusting. It's all too easy to get burned. If Andrei decides to move on, Libby will probably be crushed, and she'll need to spend a lot of time trying to repair her relationships with her relatives. She will need them if she's raising her kids without Andrei, even if they share custody. Hopefully, Andrei is on the level. Libby is naive in some ways. The woman who wants to make a living singing nursery rhymes may idealize her mate, glossing over things that should never be ignored. Her romantic spirit is sweet, but Andrei has a ruthless quality. He's told wild tinker tailor soldier spy-style tales about fleeing Moldova in the dead of night to avoid rogue cops. Sure, this could be true, but it wouldn't be surprising if he was embellishing. There's a touch of crass disloyalty in 90 Day Fiance's Andrei Castrovet, and personally, loyalty is something that I value. Those who are loyal usually understand the give and take in human interactions. I am extremely loyal. Those who are there for me are rewarded and never forgotten. I hope that Andrei never treats Libby the way that he's treated her family. That twisted dynamic fueled a lot of interesting on-screen antics, but in real life, it's not so funny. 90 Day. The Last Resort Season 3 could potentially be a hit if it includes some iconically problematic couples who need professional guidance to resolve their relationship problems. I have been a big fan of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise since 2015, and I have seen it expand greatly over the years. The network has capitalized on its potential by creating some unique spin-offs. One of my favorite spin-offs is 90 Day, The Last Resort, which has impressed me for the past 2 years. It has become the one show I eagerly anticipate each year. 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 1 was probably my favorite show of 2023. It featured scandals and drama between iconic figures such as Big Ed Brown, Angela Dean, Liz Woods, Michael Ilesanmi, and others. The Hall Pass cheating scandal involving Kalani Fagata and Asulu Pula was truly the most shocking 15 minutes of reality TV I've ever seen. 90 Day. The Last Resort Season 2 was also impressive, with cast members like Jasmine Pineda and Natalie Mordovtseva creating memorable moments. Jasmine's pregnancy reveal with Matt Brauny's and Biniam Scheiber's breakup with Ariella Weinberg were the highlights of the season.